What's going on, my friends? I'm back once again, just going right from the top. How many of you guys ever felt alone? You felt misunderstood? You felt like nobody understood who you are, nobody understands how you think, and no one really understands why you move the way you move. But the only person who does understand is you. And you may even question yourself because you're different. You may be physically built different. You may totally just think different from everybody else. I found myself throughout the years, especially when I was younger, and still to this very day, but when I was younger, I was always looked at as different. And I hated it because I always wanted to blend in like everybody else. I just wanted to be accepted. And there was times where in elementary school, I would literally keep my left hand in my pocket. And I knew I wasn't hiding it from people, but it made me feel comfortable. It got to the point where I was able to accept myself because deep down inside, I did feel like I was hiding it. Even though everybody seen it, even though it looked weird because even those who didn't see it, right, who didn't see my left hand, they would see me day in and day out and they would be like, why is his left hand always in his pocket? What is he hiding? What's going on? You know, when you're born like this can cause a serious psychological issue if you don't deal with it. Just like I can understand people that are overweight or labeled obese. I think they experience something similar. People who their left leg or right leg may be smaller than the other, or they may have lost a limb or lost an arm or a hand. It affects you. It keeps you stagnated. And through the years, I had to find ways to accept my situation, to accept that I'm different. And being different, I had to realize it's not bad. Now, being different for the sake of being different, like, hey, I'm going to do this just so I can look different, to me, that's silly. But if you're just naturally different, you just naturally think different, you naturally see things in a different way, you look different because that's just who you are. That's how God made you. And don't ever run from that. Don't ever not accept yourself. Accept you exactly the way God made you. Accept yourself the way you were born. I've realized that most people will accept you just the way you are if you accept you. But something even bigger than that is whether people accept you or whether they don't accept you. What truly matters is that you accept yourself exactly the way you are. And let nobody, not even yourself, take you away from that. Today, I walk around this earth, I walk around this world as if I got two good hands. I walk around this earth as if I had the best upbringing. Am I perfect? Not at all. I'm still a work in progress. But I refuse at this age to stay sad, to stay because everybody, if they're honest, everybody experience being sad from time to time. Some people experience being depressed. My thing is I don't stay there, and I do my best to make sure that I don't go in that direction, that I don't live in that direction. I remember when I was a kid, my dad would always say, when we're out in public, whether it would be at church, some kind of function outside of church, whatever, when he would get around other his peers and whatnot, other adults, he would pinpoint me out and go, "You see that child right there? That's my child. That's my problem child." And I used to think to myself, why would you do that? Why would you set me apart from my other siblings? Now, granted, as a kid, I, like my grandmother would say, "You're not bad, you're just mischievous." I did a lot of bonehead things, just like I would think most kids, but no one deserves that kind of label because those labels tend to stay with you for a long time. See that child right there? That's my problem child. That dog right there don't hunt, right? He's not the sharpest knife in the drawer. That stuff stays with you. It really does. But what I've learned through the years, through my experience, I like to look at myself as an alchemist. We don't necessarily have problems. We have obstacles in front of us. Are we going to go around it, or going to go the other way, or under it, or are we just going to completely destroy it and bulldozer right through it? I find ways to look at my childhood problems, and I realize I can change those issues in the present depending on my mindset. So instead of me looking at myself as the problem child, instead of me looking at myself as different, I found ways to transmute that. So for instance, my dad would always say, "That's my problem child." Instead of playing that out, even as an adult, I found ways to use it as a superpower. I look at it like this now. No, I'm not a problem child, and I never was a problem child. God chose me to be one of the chosen ones. God chose me to be one of the ones that are misunderstood. God chose me to be able to stand out from everyone else. Physically, not just physically, but intelligently. I've been through hell and back throughout my whole life, and I'm still standing. And I really believe it's because I got God on my side, and God knew that I would go through hell and back, kind of like Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. If I said it right, just going off my memory. And they were thrown in the furnace, and they didn't get burnt. I believe I have that kind of protection. I believe God's children have that kind of protection. And we need to embrace that. We need to know that I really believe life is about your perspective also. If you feel sorry for yourself, if you look at yourself like, "Oh, woe's me, God gave me some really tough parents and a really tough life and literally dealt me a really bad hand," and you start coming at life like that, literally like a victim, instead of thinking, "Wait, hold on. There's a reason why God allowed me to go through hell and back. There's a reason why I have all these obstacles in front of me." I look at life as a game, hence a game. Whether it's a basketball game, a chess game, whether it's a soccer game, baseball game, whatever. It's all mental. It's all spiritual. But now it's like, wait, hold on. You mean to tell me I can take all my issues that I went through in the past and I can utilize it as fuel? I could transform it I could take this water or I could take this dirt and transform it into gasoline so I can get from point A to point B, so I can continue my journey. I want to use my life. I want to use my experiences that I've experienced and endured to help motivate you guys, to help show you guys, hey, look, yes, everybody got problems. Yes, everybody's been, to some degree, has been taken advantage of or used or hurt. But we don't have to stay there. And we can make choices. We can make decisions that's in our best interest. Just like in my previous videos, I was explaining how I cut my father off. And to some of you guys may look at that and go, damn, that's cold. And the Bible says you should honor your mother and your father. Thy days will be longer on the earth. But it also says, if my memory serves me correctly, if you continue to read, don't provoke your children to anger or wrath. I went through hell and back. And I still love my dad. I forgive my dad. But I do have to separate myself from people that will cause me to self-destruct or put me in a state where I'm not going to reach my full potential, that I'm not living my best life, that I'm not helping other people because I'm so tied into the way people treat me and not making the best decision that's in my best interest. That's one of the things about just being a sovereign being. You can make your own decisions and it can be in your best interest. You can do that. You have the power to do that. You don't need permission from anyone else, especially if you're an adult. If you're an adult, you don't need permission from your mom and dad to make the best decisions that's in your best interest. And you don't need nobody else's permission to protect yourself, to look after yourself, to put yourself in such a peaceful state of mind where you don't know what to do with yourself because you're at peace. There's some people that are attracted to crap, to garbage, attracted to, oh, so-and-so treated me this way and that way. And a lot of times I would tell people in the past, well, what are you doing about it? If you like it, you're going to stay in that situation. You're going to stay in that relationship. If you don't, cut it off. And that's why I said in my past videos, oh, well, it's my mom. Okay, cut it off. If it ain't working for you, you're an adult, it ain't working for you, this person is tearing you down, cut it off. It's my dad. If it ain't working for you, cut it off. Unless you're into that kind of stuff, which is when you make yourself stay in an abusive relationship, whether it's a mother or father, whether it's an aunt or an uncle or a cousin or a friend, it only makes you sick. And then you got to start thinking about, okay, why am I staying in these kind of relationships? What is it saying about me? Why am I doing that? And what can I do to change my perspective and to change my position in this situation? And a lot of times you can attempt to talk to the individual and try to make your point, but sometimes people like to get your energy. They like to get you all worked up and get your emotions, and at the end of the day, they wasn't going to change no way. They just were having a good time toying with you. So sometimes if that person doesn't want to change, you change. You change. You make the ultimate decision. You have the power to make your life miserable or to make it as peaceful as possible and as prosperous as possible. You have that power. You have that right to think about what's in your best interest and to act on it and to be unapologetic.